Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's weekly EU cast for the Spy Party Competitive League Season 5. Today, we are going to be covering the final remaining matches in the Tournament of Position, which has been taking place throughout the 4 weeks of the postseason. For those of you who don't know, the way the Tournament of Position works is it's a tournament of 16 players. Two of them are the people who finished at the bottom of Gold Division, all the way near the top, and the other 14 are the top two finishers from all of the lower divisions. And so those 14 are fighting to climb their way up and get to Gold. Meanwhile, the Gold players are fighting to hold on to their spots. And so far, what we've seen in the Tournament of Position is that a lot of the lower division players have been doing really well. The two players from Gold, they both lost matches in the first few weeks and lost their spots in Gold. Last week, we saw Rio and Pofke solidify themselves to get those Gold spots. And now we're going to be seeing who gets the other remaining spots, which are open in Silver and Bronze. And so that's what the first two matches we're going to be seeing today are. Kotte versus Tabsies and Dels versus Pox. All four of these players have a chance to make it up to Silver, but there are still spots in Bronze available if they lose. Meanwhile, Ascend Beyond versus Jake Armstrong, the third match we'll be seeing, will be a live match later. And after losing in the first week, they got put into the losers bracket. And whoever wins today will have gotten 3 wins in a row since then, which will earn them a spot in Bronze. But our first match today is Kotte versus Tabsies. I have casters Ponoob and Ranmilia joining me for this. So, Ranmilia, can you tell me a little bit about these two players in our first match?
Hello and welcome, everybody. We have Kotte and Tabsies here, two very dominant players from their divisions. Tabsies from the Challenger division, which is the people who joined mid-season and weren't placed in a starting division. Challenger is a place where you can get a whole lot of diversity in skill levels, but two players really stood out from it, Tabsies and Jake Armstrong, and we'll be seeing both of them here today. Kotte, in the meantime, was in the Iron division, along with yours truly here, and he 7-0'd me. He 7x'd a whole lot of people in Iron, really just dominated that division.
Yeah, I'm looking here at the records previously. Tabsies has come in winning against 2 gold players, against Woodar and Turnout. Cotte's also had a lot of success. His big win was beating Pox, which would be an upset. He beat the bronze player, and then Pox went on to go win 8-0 the next week. This will be for silver. There is a consolation prize. The loser will end up getting into bronze, which is more than you could possibly ask for at the beginning of the season. But there's a lot to play for here with silver on the line.
Yeah, straight into bronze, like a 4 division jump for Challenger, and 2 divisions up from Iron. So a big prize, even if they lose here, and silver, of course, a step beyond that.
Yeah, let's get into picks and bans.
Great, so we have the first bans coming in. Tabsies bans Balcony and Kotte bans Veranda.
Yeah, pretty typical bans. Veranda less common than say like Taean bans that we might see in the future, but people aren't necessarily comfortable with the big 5/8s that have a lot of cover.
And the double picks that we're going to be seeing are Ballroom from Tabsies and Moderne from Kotte.
I think these are just preference picks. I don't think these are particularly thoughtfully against their opponent's style, but more just things they enjoy.
Yeah, and the single picks, we have Tabsies picking Aquarium, Kotte picking Courtyard, and then Tabsies picks Library, and Kotte finishes out with Terrace.
Okay, the terrace pick is interesting, and it's not to be unexpected. Iron in general and the lower divisions in general have really leaned into terrace as their niche pick.
Iron and Challenger both actually were the 2 divisions, both of those divisions playing over 70 games on Terrace during the regular season, whereas all the other divisions played, I think, around 20 or less.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting if it does come down to terrace. Terrace being the last map being picked here means it's going to be really tense if it does come down to a last game situation. That being said, we're starting with Ballroom. I'm showing Tabsies here as Red Dress, if and when you guys are ready.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. Let's head on straight into it.
Fantastic. Well, in that case, Tabsies versus Kotte, silver on the line here. Let's get it started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Not immediately taking control, getting a bit of a dance here, and I bet you we're going to beeline that seduction target. No, Tabsies already not doing turnout stuff. Yeah, he
No
didn't learn
time to
that
hide
lesson
there.
from his earlier set. It's just take the first thing available. It takes the second thing available here with the bookcase.
So a little slow at the windows, maybe not trusting the seduction target to stay there for long enough, but now we're going to pick up the flirt at the bookcase here. Very standard start. We would expect to see contact. We would expect to see seduce, maybe some statues at some point. Here's the ambassador, though.
Yeah, we could have taken a bug there. I'm not sure it would have been a particularly healthy decision. A wrong arm there would have put the arm out in front and on the sniper's side. This is real quick, just straight in there, banana bread. With the green, it just happens as we walk in. Either very suspicious or very non-suspicious, depending.
Well, with a green, I think you can't really count it as too suspicious. It is a pretty good time to fire off a banana bread. Only 2 lowlights taken off of that. I believe those were the only 2 available, unless you want to do something like assume real.
Yeah, I do like the pacing here. We've already got the banana bread. We've got 2 flirts in. We would be done with flirt if we could be hitting our greens, but they're white so far. But I like that Tabsies is coming out and playing. He's not being hesitant, which can often be the case in a first game jitters.
Definitely so. Do your missions, get them done. That's one of the differences that we see here between these players. Tabsies definitely likes the cheese, definitely likes to play a little bit more of an aggressive style compared to Kotte on the spy side. He maybe likes to take things a little more sedately. Here's a bit of mind control, though. The seduction
That was
target comes right back
absurd.
next to us.
Yeah, the from Cotty's side, Alice has done statues. We do not take the bug there, though we might get another chance on the way back from Ambassador if he comes our direction. He does not. We got Rocker as a highlight. It's been a pretty calm game, all things considered.
Yeah, 3 times now bumping into the ambassador here where we could have bugged but did not. Instead, we're at center statues here, but at the same time as the ambassador. So it's going to be very tight to get all 3 inspects, but we do.
Yeah, fingerprints pretty much off the table, but every other hardtail we could possibly do here. Ballroom's notorious for its low angle on the purloins. Swap it back statues when we already have statues credited might be good. We are stalling with this little window stutter step. If Duke rejects, maybe we do the purloin.
That looks like what we are lining up for here.
Ambassador goes the
Really,
wrong way
we're
for the
hoping for
bug.
the spade.
Rocker takes. We're running out of good hardtail opportunities. It might be forced into it anyways. This is not an offer to us. We are requesting now. It's going to be overtime if we do purloin. Maybe bail out of this and bug. It's going to be purloin. White test. This is not good. Cotty's been very good about catching these sort of things. We're
6
dancing.
seconds, so about 3
We're
times of
dancing.
overtime. The dancing,
We're doing a path behind the ambassador. That's not helpful.
we're dancing, we're running, it
I don't think
works.
Cotty knew. Um, the dancing often it's a risk because you get your attention brought to you. The list is available, like you can see the tray, at least for a moment. But he's just not ready to shoot for the dancing tabsies, and that's a 1-0 lead.
So a little bit of an upset there.
Yeah,
But now it's
ballroom
Cuddy's turn.
pretty 50-50, and I think these guys, all things considered, are pretty equal in both the results here throughout the tournament, and I think even in game count, I think they're both actually on the lower end of the game count and had a lot of success despite that. This should look familiar. It's Red Dress and Ballroom.
Indeed, it is.
And we'll get it started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yeah, you can tell this game's gonna only get more exciting because the cat's excited. When the
Yeah,
cat's excited, that
apologies
means
about that.
no, you're good. I'm excited for Spy Party. You're excited for Spy Party. Cat's excited for Spy Party. I hope Chat's excited. We got 31%, which is a Tobo percent. If we get 34 plus 34 plus the 31 we have, it leaves us at 99. So we do need to get a green at some point. Otherwise, we're four flirting.
Now, an interesting little thing. I did watch this match live, full disclosure, and there was actually a game before this one. The first attempt at game two had to be canceled because of some very weird stuff that happened at the end. But what had happened in that game was Kotte basically timed out, had three missions, couldn't really get the fourth mission in before the clock hit zero. So Kotte in this regame here, this take two that we're seeing, really knows that he has to pick up the pace. And so we've seen a quick flirt, an innocent drink take here, and a quick banana bread as well. So I like this adjustment.
Yeah, the banana bread's pretty good. The only concern I have here is Smallman's being incredibly suspicious back there, but it doesn't even look like he's copped a low light yet. And just like the last game, we're making good progress. They're coming out here. If you're saying that Cody had that first game hesitancy, he's not showing it now, and that's a good thing. Queen, what are you doing?
She's petting
With
her
the new
dog.
patch, we've seen a lot of AI doing things that we're not particularly used to. Queens in the middle of the conversation is just been something I've seen both in my sets and in sets we've casted. I don't know what she's up to, why she has to go get in General's grill here. Flirt's done.
A lot of weird AI positionings, indeed. A little bit of sliding. Fortunately, that wasn't a factor, but that was actually why the game two take one had to be replayed.
Okay, we do
Now
have
we're
the
stepping
option
into
to
center statues.
inspect swap if we want it. The rotate's coming over. When you see the laser rotating off to the right here on Ballroom, it means you do not have permission to swap. The main reason it rotates over is because they're watching for the swap.
Indeed, so we don't go for it, but that is three missions done and over a minute still on the clock here. Plenty of time to find another.
There is actually a reject chain going. Both Queen and Irish have rejected. If we do a Purloin now, and particularly a green Purloin, it would be very powerful.
Yes, indeed. Here comes the request.
Okay, twin takes,
No,
so
twin
there's no
takes.
chain for Tabsies to worry about. Uh, Still a Purloin here, back of the conversation. Green Purloin, always helpful. I have a feeling we might be a top suspect, though.
We surely must be for that center statue visit. There's the take. Here's the 10-second countdown. Not going to
Toby's
be any
facing away
prolonged
from the
overtime.
sniper. It's really hard to get vision on it. He's not
No,
going to
we
see it.
can't see the list. It's just completely unseen, and that brings us up to a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, so with Toby, he doesn't he's not prepared to see the list as it gets taken away, and then Toby just faces away from the sniper, and especially with the angle that he was holding, just I think keep an eye on the ambassador. He just never gets vision on the list. And the Purloin, I think, was better than you could ever really expect it to be from Coddy's side. He didn't have a reject chain or anything.
Yeah, very clean there. Very interesting how those games mirrored each other as well, both playing red dress, both finishing with Purloin and a little bit of dance.
Yep, and we are on to Orange Dress. Uh, Really powerful spy. Her biggest downfall, obviously, being that she's quite slow. And we'll see if it comes to matter here, if it's a positive or negative for Tabsies in three, two, one, playing it. Bug. Okay, we do the
Bug?
bug path and we do not take the bug. I'm not sure Coddy's highlight lowlight strategy. Also, that path is not pretty. Um, if it's just going to be for statues, but that was very much a bug path and not the sort of one that you can be confident that they didn't bug unless you're really staring it down.
Well, we did not bug though. It's going to be side statues here. Will we bug on the way out? Yes, we
That bug
do.
is not particularly good. We just had a highlight. We didn't get the wrong arm or anything. We're not dead though. I think Tabsy's probably counting his blessings there.
Certainly so, waiting around in this innocent conversation before stepping in for some seduce action.
Yeah, we got Duke and Pearl's also visiting statues again. Duke's already got the highlight. Pearl's already visited statue. This might be a high pressure game, and I do appreciate the just the innocent drink take. You might be able to just get a civilian shot with a well timed banana bread.
I'm wondering if we're going to see a time ad here from the way Tabsies seems to be attracted to these window pads. Tried to get onto a window pad that would have had 4 people on it at the start. Didn't quite make it there.
Yeah, the interesting thing we're gonna see in the long run here is how cheesy does Tabsies get. I'm not sure if it's just Tabsies' personality or if it's because he's relatively new and just wants to surprise people, but he has leaned on more aggressive and playmaking than almost any other player.
Yes,
He's been
indeed.
relatively calm the first two spy games.
Not too much that you can do in the way of cheese on ballroom other than like the direct microfilm or the statue swap it back. I guess there's some things there, but not like the pillar cheese on library, which Tabsies was renowned for during the regular season.
Yeah, I feel like he just went and watched my replays and then stole a bunch of stuff, honestly. Uh, and I love it. There's not enough of it. This could be inspect and swap. If we take the swap, we still have the flirt on the table, so it's not typically advisable. A green swap would make it a play. It's being watched. You can see the laser from Tabsy's side, and he can see it too. Gonna put this down and try and find our fourth mission elsewhere. Double agent and banana bread would be the most obvious route.
Yeah, we've already gotten away with a bug. All we need to do is contact and one more flirt, and we're not dead for statues already. This is the test right here. The SDA is out, so this is the only conversation with real banana bread, and we're the only highlight in it. But no shot is coming off. All we have to do is follow our ST back in. What a
It
weird
would have to
path
be a
there, and
shot from
talk again.
flirt. The laser is on us, but is it gonna be the shot? I don't think it will be. It's so hard to shoot for flirt. We might have
It
been like
is
the
not.
overtime shot with the way that laser's lining up, but it's all too late. We did the flirt with about 15 seconds on the clock.
So that brings us to 2-1 in favor of Thabsies. True spy party so far. 3 mission wins in a row.
Yeah, I always like to say in casual, it's not how many wins you get, it's how many mission wins you get, because that means you're being stylish and really defeating your opponent, not just letting them defeat themselves. It's going to be on Cody to keep up the spy serve here with Alice in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So Kadi, the first one to break character selection serve here, not returning the orange dress favor. We are going to step in for 49% on a green test seduce. Very nice start here, still within range of 2 flirt if we want it.
I love 49% because it's always hard to pair someone when they're at 49%. They're just slightly out of the range. They're not on someone's toes and or breaking etiquette and just actually being inside someone like you sometimes see with the 51%. We are just close enough
Just
for
going
this.
for it.
This might be 99. I think
The
this is 51.
circles are touching. Double agent is here as well. It's going to
A
be
lot
the
of green
banana
banana
bread
bread so
first.
far.
Lucky
Okay.
that that banana bread was counted, actually. Double agent left right as we were saying it, but it counts.
Yeah, what we're not seeing is the reverse drive-by bugs so far that so often come with ballroom. We've had opportunities for both players at this point.
A
This is
little bit of
not
reluctance on the
subtle.
bug, huh? No, this is flirt chasing for sure. 3 times now, you go right next to Seek and talk to him. One at the windows at the start. If we remembered flirt pairing, that would be dangerous, but doesn't seem like that's something that Thabsies is doing here.
Yeah, these guys are playing ballroom. How would we similarly talk about courtyard? They're getting the flirt done, they're getting the banana bread done, and then figuring out what they need to do beyond that for the
In here?
hardtail. And they've
No.
continued to do the middle statues as their third mission. This does have a fingerprint. It's a one cycle. Interesting.
Indeed, it does. Now that we've taken the fingerprint, maybe we don't need to do statues?
Yeah, we still need to do a fourth mission though. I don't believe, though I could be wrong,
Here's the
that
bug.
there's a fingerprintable statue. Bug is a highlight. It's always gross. Are we dead?
Was that
We're dead.
scene? It is. Right in the riding boots.
Yeah.
So
The
Thabsy's up 3-1 on Ballroom. Wow.
just looking at the bug here again, it looks like he was zooming in already for the list, and then zooms in and zooms right back out just to catch the bug. Uh, Really, I'm not sure if you can necessarily see the arm because Taft is still pretty rotund, but the path is so bug-like. We're
Yeah,
on to Modern, and someone has a lead. In this case, it's Tabsies. He's continued to win on the spy side. It's going to be a bit harder at Modern than Ballroom, and he's doing it as Seek in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
something that
Okay.
we see in Cotty's choices is they're very sniper party maps, at least two of them, and Terrace the Iron Throne. So he was kind of counting on having a lead on the opponent's picks, but that is not what has happened. Cotty needs to make something happen here.
This is good reactionary play here from Tabsies. Realizing that Cotty isn't highlighting for statues means that going to statues here and getting the flirt plus inspect without getting the highlight means uh, you're getting a lot more value out of it than you would against the meta snipers who are highlighting for inspects.
Yeah, some people it can be very, very difficult just to get away with two statue visits on Modern. They'll just track the people who do that and then shoot one of them. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case here, though.
Yeah, that's not to say that Cotty isn't tracking inspects. We've seen some players do highlights on second inspects, and in this situation, you want to keep the highlights flexible sometimes, just so you can do things like bar highlights.
Not too hard to remember. We haven't actually had that many statue visitors in this match. Not a whole lot of action in general, actually.
We have a lot of people in conversation, but both of the conversations have SDAs and not true DAs. This will make a lot of noise, but Tabsies knows it's fake because Double Agent was at statues.
Yeah, he has to suspect that there is an SDA in a conversation with like 8 people crammed in it. So, interesting choice there. What do you think that Thabsies is trying to do with the fake there?
I haven't seen anybody like to particularly try and frame. Like you said, it's been a relatively slow party, and the concern I have, while I've tried it myself, it's been tried against me. Framing on Modern is hard. People are often more confident of their mission counts on Modern than almost any other map. This book with the fingerprint is really nice, especially knowing that the ambassador just went to the bar. If we can get a difficult print at the bar, for example, we're actually in a really good spot here with 2 minutes left on the clock.
I think that's got to be the plan. Yes, Thabsies heading right on over there. Got to get your
We
request in before wheels. We do.
we spent a lot of time at the beginning of the game just doing the flirts with the timer flirts, and now it looks all very silly because Wheels has decided to come roll up right next to us. We've got 2 missions done here. Inspect swap is yet again on the table, but inspect swap on Modern is something I've just seen a lot of bullets for and not much success.
How do you feel about the Purloin delegate here, knowing that these bar highlights is Kadi's sniper strategy at the moment?
The Purloin delegate right now will go to Twin, who's holding a book. And I think that's the sort of thing that Tabsies is likely to do. Um, like someone leaving this conversation after doing a banana bread and slamming a book in would be something that can really throw a sniper off if they're not prepared for it. We already have Flirt. We don't need to do this, Tabsies. I know you really love him, but Wheels is already loves you as much as he can.
Well, looks like we didn't fire off the delegate to anybody, and the timer is now expiring. We need two more missions, which means it has to be inspect swap here? No, we're
Yeah,
just dead.
so I'm not sure what the count is, but we've definitely done fingerprint and we've definitely done specs, and the chances that an AI does both fingerprints and inspects is not very likely. And I think we might have been credited for a cheeky microfilm or a cheeky bug if you're counting the five.
But we only visited one bookshelf.
Yeah,
Nevertheless, though,
you don't want to lose to someone who's doing fingerprints and statues, and you catch both fingerprints and you catch both inspects, and then go. The only way I lose this is if I missed a bug or microfilm, and then you've missed a bug or microfilm. I do like the shot, and obviously, it was the spy. It's a game-winning shot, and we're 3-2 Tabsies. Kotte now can break it back and get it to 3-3 if he can win as general here on Modern. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
if you can win this spy on Modern in the tournament of position with all this on the line and yourself already being down in score, it's a tough ask. Going to start it off with 47% though, so that's a nice one.
Yeah, so we're seeing a different sniper style here from Tabsies, where he's highlighting for inspects and bar visits, and it's going to mean it's going to be Christmas lights all out here. We're going to join the highlights, and I think this is smart. When there's a lot of people at bar, getting your purloin in and just making it really hard for them to narrow it down to just a few people is always smart.
Maybe easy to remember all the men in the black suits at the bar. I think a couple of them left without even taking drinks.
We
We'll
do
take one
have
though.
some choices here for who we delegate to. It might just be the seduction target, just because we're gonna end up standing next to them anyways. But someone like Smallman, who's already done an early inspect, would be the sort of person I would particularly like to have delegated to in this situation.
Meanwhile, on the sniper side, Thabsy's really zooming in on Teal over at the bookshelf, worried about microfilm. That's a bit of an interesting note in this particular matchup, as Kotte did not do microfilm a single time during the regular season.
That's weird, honestly. Uh, Microfilm's a mission where you kind of want to sprinkle in just so you keep your opponents honest.
Bug, bug, bug. No bug.
Yeah. The angle there is just, I mean, you're general, so it's going to be better than usual, but you're just walking away from the laser. Uh, I guess if you're not doing microfilm against opponents who aren't studying, then it may actually just be optimal. But you do want to have maybe one microfilm game a set, for example, would be the sort of mindset I'd go into this tournament with.
Yeah, the second half of that story is that Kotte also knows he doesn't microfilm, and once he got into the Tournament of Power, he started doing it and he started winning with it in the earlier weeks.
Ooh, this is fingerprintable. Neither the inspect or the fingerprint will be a mission. But I mean, if you decided to swap, you could do 2.5, or well, like two, but it's like two half missions plus a full swap. This is a very powerful statue if you want it to be.
You do have to actually finish those missions, though, and considering that we just saw Kotte himself take a shot for completing fingerprints and inspects, that could be dangerous.
Kotte's aware of the time. Coming in here and immediately talking on the flirt is conceding that yes, I'm low on time and I need to be making my way. In this case, making my way over to the bar to get that difficult fingerprint. They're playing a very mirrored game again. We just saw this game. If we take the fingerprint and then we go to statues and swap or intend to swap and get shot for just going to statue, it would not surprise me. Purloin, obviously, another option here, but there's a bunch of lowlights over here. It's not going to be a healthy choice.
Can we hit the
Good.
fingerprint? We do.
Yeah, we needed that desperately. I'm not sure if we can get away with purloining here. It's gonna be a quick stop talk on it. It's going to a low light. The only benefit of it going to a low light is it might not get noticed. But if you're hoping that a purloin doesn't get noticed in the last 30 seconds, you're really hoping your opponent's just not on their game, honestly.
Well, the
This will be a
question
gulp,
is
I
if it
believe.
does get noticed, who gets shot?
Okay. List is gone. We're gulping at statues. We've done fingerprints and inspects in your face. This is the exact same game you just did. Can you shoot for it? 10
Tabsies, as
seconds.
sniper, has been zooming in on books again. Neither the statue nor the list has really seen not much reaction. A safety off on Twin, and there's the mission win.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's not willing to shoot for the banana bread plus purloin, which, to be fair, people have been known to do banana bread and purloin and not much else and try and force a shot. I think he got beat by the difficult print. Uh, he may have well had an account on the inspects, but the prints I think were what probably eluded him here.
I agree. I agree. Also interesting that we never actually got dropped back down as a highlight, even though it was just for bar at the very beginning. Had a whole lot of lights, maybe some confusion there. But in our next game here, we have Tabsies as Papa Danger.
Yep, really really good pick for Modern. Because he's fast and has good bugs, and it's really hard to get a bug on Modern with a poor bugging character. Probably worse than any because there's just no cover. Something like Wheels, for example, on Gallery, you can just go behind the conversations and you're fine. On Modern, you're just not going to have that people cover that we saw in Ballroom, for example, too. Let's get Papa Danger here going in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I'm happy that they're keeping it close. We are going to be casting 3 sets today. If they're all close, I'm gonna struggle. Let's be honest here, but uh, starting off
Yeah.
close here makes it interesting. And here's the Tabsy I know and love. Early time
White
ad,
time ad.
white time ad, and it was right as the beeping happened for now the 5 minute beep. It is actually probably one of the worst times. If he waited 2 seconds, he could have just gotten to like 4:59 when the clock ticked over, and no beep would have occurred.
Well, beep or no beep, though, we're not seeing any lowlights coming from Kadi, so it looks like it may have just gone unnoticed.
Yeah, there's been players here who have been playing, practicing with in the tournament position, and I think they've all played now, including people like Pofke and Ryu who've said, "Can you stop time editing? Like it's the one thing I'm just not catching consistently." I have a feeling Cody might be the same sort of thing, and the only saving grace for Cody would be that Tabsies is known for time editing.
So 61% on our seduction meter at present. No mission progress as of yet. Harsh thing about time ads on Modern is that even with a lot of time, you still have to actually do the missions.
Yeah, so the thing that we haven't seen so far from these guys is willingness to do microfilm. And I do think if you're gonna do 5 missions on Modern, doing a microfilm is instead of inspects is really powerful. Oh goodness, Orange Dress just did the bug path. Um, I think Cody might have a top suspect now if he didn't already.
Yeah, a lot of camera movement, a lot of highlights in the conversation that had the ambassador there.
We've gotten our flirt done. We've hit the big green. That hitting that green when it's needed has been a bit harder for people than hitting the first green on flirts in this tournament, particularly. There's not an obvious plan of attack. Double agents doing a briefcase. Ambassadors as far away from anything as possible. There's no readily available fingerprints. I think we might just cop out and do inspects just because there's nothing else to do, and Tabsies agrees with me.
Yeah, it's basically either that or try to make purloin or microfilm happen. One
Without
inspect, two
the
inspect.
yeah, without the highlight, it's not terrible. But we did get shot for 2 inspects previously, plus 2 prints.
Well,
We
now
do
the
not need
ambassador's
we do
at the
not need to be in the
bottom.
conversation with Salmon here, but it's fine. He leaves. Despite that time ad, we're running low on time.
Yeah, under 2 minutes and just one mission and two inspects complete so far. Double Agent is going to get contacted in a moment, I would assume.
Yeah, the party's just not helping. We got a lot of highlights just outside of conversation, and I'm not sure how much Tabsies know who's going to be suspicious or not, but it's just a lot of people and would end up being a pretty bad banana bread. Um, yeah, we're losing 3 highlights here.
Yep, there's the banana
I
bread.
love it. Cotty, instead of taking the obvious low lights, immediately takes the one in our seduction target, who's just hanging out with Ambassador. It's an assume reel of one person. I assume it's the person he was just looking at when the banana bread happened, along with a bunch of other healthy highlights.
Maybe not assume real, but assume it's not the one person talking to the ambassador firing off a fake, at least.
This is not a time ad. This is just a watch check. This needs to be a bug, or we are doing something else.
It's not a bug.
Okay, this will be in specs. The option here, if you're feeling yourself, is to try and hit a green swap. I do not think a white swap is ever going to work. Yeah, I said
It's a
that.
white swap. Lizzie
Okay,
moves over, the statue is seen, and we're
so
dead.
a green swap there gives us options to do the 5th mission. Purloin's pretty prohibitive because you're going from a statue. Microfilm would be very cheesy. Basically, we're gonna just go heat seek the ambassador. With a white swap, it means that they have enough time to catch the swap here at the statue, plus they have another 10 seconds while we go finish up our last mission. It just gives them too much time to think about it. Cuddy actually catching us relatively quickly, just catching us while we're still holding the statue. Red-handed. And with that, we have one more modern game. We're Seek here. This is Seek, right? Yeah, this is Seek.
Yes.
Um, and we're gonna see if Cotty can actually take a lead here coming out of the doubles, or if they're just gonna keep it even and move on to the single picks here tied. And we'll do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Well, regardless of if he can maintain a lead here, even getting it back to 4-4, I think, with the spy win on Modern has to be a win for Cuddy. He is up 4-3 at the moment. His first lead in the series so far.
Yeah, and as a reminder, as always with the tournament placement, being the higher seed matters a lot. And if we do end up in a situation where it goes 8-8 tied, then Cotty wins the tiebreaker. So he's playing to get 8 wins, and Tabs is playing to get 9 wins. So
That's correct.
it's kind of like having a win in pocket. You start off the set 1-0, sort of 34%. And I'm wondering what the plan of action here is going to be, because other than Tabsies just having a lot of highlights, there's not much else going on yet.
An
I like
early
this.
contact here,
I
perhaps?
do not like the actually taking it. So I like walking into a conversation here and then just waiting for the banana bread to show. This is just very aggressive from Cotty. Just taking everything that's readily available in front of him, including this fingerprint. We'll see if we can hit the green. No.
Alas.
I do wonder how much harder it is just statistically to hit it while you're walking. It does feel like the briefcases are harder to hit than maybe the books or the drinks where you can take your time and aren't trying to multitask. Ugh, 65% is gross.
Oh no, that's the number that you don't want to see. That means we need a green or we're going to be forced into a 4 flirt. The dreaded 99 might make an appearance.
Yeah, so you don't actually have to get right up for next to them to get the 35%. So you can avoid the 99 and get something awkward like a 92%. Uh, I don't think either of these guys are particularly watching Flirt, and with the way that they're playing their spies, they've agreed. We are eating the highlight here for the statue. It's only our first inspect. I just don't see a way for Gotti to end this game without a bit of spectacular play. Maybe a purloin to the right person, for example.
This path here, by the way, this path here is one of my secret pet peeves on Modern. When spies are at the bookcase or at that back set of statues, they love to take this straight path across and do the bar next as their next mission site rather than trying to path anywhere else. I'd love to see statistics on that, but that path is actually something that I like to watch for.
Is it because they're not doing the path correctly, or is it just a path that they really prefer for no?
It's a path that they really prefer. You think, where do I go next? Let's go to the bar.
Yeah, fair enough. We are dawdling. This is a purloin to actually it's a purloin to an SDA. Bit unlucky here. Uh, Sometimes like with an empty bar, for example, an SDA going to the bar as the purloin might actually be quite powerful because it just never gets checked. But with the highlight there, it's going to be seen relatively soon, if not when Rocker takes when Cowboy gets offered. The list is taken while we're inspecting. We could swap here and just kind of rush it down. 3 missions in 5 seconds. Ooh, we are
There's the
not
take.
dead, but
It's seen.
it's a good thing we didn't swap, or at least white swap.
These are instantly moving over Ducati after the purloin is seen.
This is preparing for behind the back in the very case situation the ambassador goes to like green bookcase. Otherwise, it's a walking bug. Okay, it's a walking bug, but
Yep.
quite optimistic there.
Ambassador would have.
I think he cut the animation with the statue pickup, but that path in itself is just very suspicious.
Yeah, we were standing in that conversation by ourselves, so the ambassador would have had to leave very quickly, and that did not happen. So it is indeed going to be 4-4 coming out of the double picks and heading on to Aquarium, the Habsies pick.
I think Aquarium's just like my favorite map at this point. Particularly as a caster, it's just really fun to watch shark mechanics and see how much alcohol Toby has behind him. It's so much alcohol. We're
How
right next
does
to the
he
ambassador as
use?
general. Yeah, so I've looked at the bar. A lot of the alcohols are repeats. If you're paying for the top shelf stuff, don't do it. You can just get the same ones lower on the shelf. We're general. We have a really good bug, and we're right next to the ambassador. And I don't think we have a drink in hand, which is a blessing. We could see it. Tabsies is known for it. So let's be prepared in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Bug, 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 bug.
We're
No.
just staying in the ambassador's area, but not doing the bug. Now are we doing it? Tabsies.
Yes.
That
Yes.
that that felt like I'm mad that I didn't take that bug for 4 seconds, and I'm a bit tilted about it, and I'm just gonna do it. And it worked. We're not dead. We're not highlit.
Yeah.
Uh,
No reaction.
no reaction. This could be a
The,
quick rush, by the way. A big 51% here, Flirt. Um, a purloin and banana bread and a Flirt, and how do they shoot? Yeah, that's how they shoot. You get credited for bug here
oh,
behind the shark. No.
no, Taft, go away. We already got you. Oh, he went away.
Yeah, that's not helpful though. If it's really going to be that simple rush that we've been near the ambassador twice now is not good. This is about as innocent of a spot in the game as you can take until the banana bread happens. We're basically only possibly flirting with Twin. Now we look suspect.
It's green. We're not flirting with anyone here just yet.
Here's the dreaded middle shark with ambassador at the middle conversation. There's about 6 people who could be bugging right now. It's gross. Instead, we're joining that conversation as the ambassador leaves. If we hit a green here with the purloin,
Here
this could be
goes the
game. Ooh,
list.
seduction target
It's
leaves, and
seen.
safety off on us, but we aren't dead, despite the fact that we didn't get the talk off. We have 2 minutes to do 49% flirt with high suspicion. I don't think it gets much more suspicious than a big safety off there. No, Ambassador, go away.
Yeah.
We haven't talked. We didn't talk. We didn't
We didn't
talk.
talk?
Kotte is just doing a jigsaw over there. He's putting the pieces together, and he shoots us without us doing anything for the last good 30 seconds.
Yeah.
There's no way that we completed missions there necessarily,
No.
but he just figures it out with the banana bread and probably a bit of fear about the bug.
Yeah, on Aquarium, you have to figure Bug, it's general. He was near the ambassador. Bug may have happened at some point in there, so are you really going to shoot them for one more talk? Just take the shot now.
Yeah, the interesting thing there is Tabsies did actually have a moment there where if he walked into conversation and greened the flirt right before the seduction target left, it would have been a 10-second countdown. Well ending before Cotty's shot. Obviously, that's implying that he wouldn't have shot for the immediate talk and can green the flirt, but uh, given that we know now, I think Tabsies actually had winning chances. We got Cotty here on Irish hanging out in the back corner, and we're going to do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It would have needed to be a rush with the purloin as the last thing there. That's what really killed.
These 49% flirts are just so pretty. Like we might get the highlight here just for being at the bar. But
Yeah, we do.
yep. I'm wondering if maybe you can take the lessons that you learned on Modern and watch the replays and see, oh, they highlight at Modern and apply them to Aquarium. It does seem that at least for both these players, they're using the same highlight lowlight strategies that they were using on Modern on Aquarium.
They did indeed watch the replays, I can tell you that.
We're keeping an eye on the shark here for the bug potentially. That ended up being
There's the
even
bug.
better than it should have been.
That was
So
really clean.
because the ambassador moved, it became us both walking at the same time. Ends up being a lot cleaner than just us doing the bug path with him in conversation. I might still be suspected, but definitely not seen, and we're obviously not shot. This is our second drink, you alcoholic Irish. And we're doing what we've seen a lot actually. We're going into a conversation with our seduction target, but we've already gotten flirt doing it for the banana bread.
Banana bread.
White
There it is.
test. There's
Tons of people in conversation. Only
one
one
low
low
light,
light. Wow.
and this is where you consider doing things like assume real, and just take those 5 low lights on the people who are in the conversation without a double agent, because that really feels like a real banana bread. We already have a bug. Go away, ambassador. There's just been these general themes, and it's ambassadors who really want to get bugged is one of them.
Here's the
This
question,
is
though. What's our fourth
hmm.
mission?
The laser comes over to us, like pretending to do a inspect. Oh, it's just swap. It's just swap. There's no shark here. We're just swapping in
Oh,
his face and hoping he doesn't see it.
white
Now
swap.
there's shark, and it's game. We're gonna stutter step. We're still majority behind the shark. There was moments to
Not
see
seen.
the statue, but I don't think it was ever seen.
No, we actually only had a couple of seconds there before the shark came by. It looks like about 4 seconds of statue visibility.
Yeah, it's I'm counting 6 on my side, but I think he could have done it a bit later, and he would have been a lot more powerful. That being said, if it works, don't hate it. Cuddy is on the board
Yeah.
here with the spy win, and especially with the set lead being the higher seed, he only needs 2 more, and Tabsies needs 5. Tabsies now definitely down in the set.
Cuddy sweeping Thabsy's pick here, and Courtyard up next, one of the maps that you expect to be a 1-1 split. This is going to be a very dangerous game. If Tabsies loses this one, it's going to be ugly.
You guys do know that Courtyard's like 55-45, right? And that's not it.
In
If you
Diamond.
know how to play the spy, it's spy biased. I promise you. We got Tabsies here as orange dress, and we'll get it started in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. Yeah, people always just like I'm not memeing. I promise. It's the oh, they got beat by the swap because they didn't rotate, and how unlucky for the sniper. And I'm like, but it happens every other game. Or you get like a bug, and they really should have seen it because it's Courtyard, and you should see everything, and they don't, and then it's just 50-50. Um, the biggest problem with Courtyard is spies who are not willing to make plays do find themselves just doing a hardtail for the sake of doing a hardtail, and that's no good.
Yeah, kind of similar to how I actually feel about Terrace now at the end of the season. We hear a lot of talk about Terrace being Sniper Party, but in Iron and Challenger, that's not quite how it played out. So we'll see if we manage to get to that final venue. In this match, 51% flirt, standard stuff.
Good bug.
Here's a
The
bug.
bugs have been pretty free. It's mainly been the pathing that's gotten people shot in this set. Um, a standing bug here I think was appropriate, and Tabsy's kind of a really good one. Now it's just the courtyard closeout, inspect, banana bread, GG, Tabsy's on the comeback. We're gonna eat the highlight. Who cares? You didn't catch the bug. We just need to not cough on the banana bread or 3-cycle or clank the statue for no good reason, and we should be good to go. I would love to see Cotty prove me wrong though, and shoot for the banana bread.
Huge win for Thabsies. If he gets this, we're out of the statues. All we need left is this contact.
We can be patient on this. Double Agent has a couple ways to screw us, but he's not going to do it. We look like the spy. The laser's on us, but we didn't bug. You know we didn't bug. Kind of bugged. We most definitely bugged. Good job by Tabsies there. And like I said, spy bias.
Mission win. We even have Cotty congratulating Thabsies on the bug in chat. That's how you know a bug is good.
I love this community, by the way. Uh, my favorite was I was chatting with Jake, who we're gonna see more in the future after like the turnout set, and it was really close, and it was like a referee decision, and we were just giggling the whole time. Like it was just you guys are such good sports, in what is a very tense game, and I'm happy to see our chat right now. Let's watch Minkati win spy on courtyard in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. Swap, 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 swap. Nah, I didn't want to swap. I
Almost looked like it, but no dice.
Yeah, so we didn't have a drink in hand, and we were so close to the statues that to take control and go to the statue and then find out you have a drink in hand, and then just eat the early highlight on courtyard, unless you are willing to eat that highlight and be potentially credited with a swap anyways if they don't rotate quickly enough. It's gross. Damon low lit. It's good. That's a good start. There's no other lowlights, but Damon is low lit. We're one down.
Banana bread.
Taft is low lit, ambassador, not usually the spy.
We got Smallman Lilith. One thing I'm actually quite interesting. I know I do it for Toby highlight. It's not particularly common though, because he is very much cast. Can make a bit more noise, and we saw in Modern, where Tabsy just had a few too many highlights. That noise was his enemy. Coddy's just not slowing down. He's been playing a very pasty game, most sets, just taking what's in front of him. I like this fingerprint. I don't love that we came out to show him that we were taking the briefcase. I think we could have gone away with putting it down there.
Yeah, I hear a lot of players saying that. Just pick it up, put it back down.
Wow.
Don't worry
That-
about. Whoa!
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but that's not me. It's Irish getting shot that's interrupting you. I'm gonna see what the chat says because they're immediately gonna type it. Yeah. So he thought it was a bug. animation being cut short by a really quick pickup. Welcome to the new patch, where timings are slightly different than what they used to be. He did wait a while for. Yeah, he shot on the put down, but I think it was the assumed bug as he came into the statue. Yeah, and then a really quick pickup. It looks like he's covering the animation, which, to be fair, we did try and see in the modern game from one spy or the other. And Banana Bread was said. Makes sense. Shot's at least justified, but you're not really happy, because it's now match point for Kotte.
4 match points. Tabsies has to win 4 straight to come back in this series. Going to be a tall order, but we do have Library coming up, and this is the notorious home of the Tabsies pillar.
Yeah, let's see here. Tabsies on Library. He's been really quite quite behaved this set. And if there's any time, it's down to match point. Let's see what you got, Tabsies, in 3, 2, 1, playing it. This is so the general reaction when it comes down to last game, even just like in a casual, you go, okay, this is going to be my last game. People usually calm down. Tabsies instead goes
No,
straight behind the
no
pillar.
calm, no chill.
This guy has no chill. I love it. Let's check how it looks like on the sniper side. Our hand is visible. We are not fully hidden. But it's not something unless you use the tilt that you're particularly going to see. Oh, Toby, go away. No, Toby. Toby.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay. The highlight comes through, like we can see the shape, but orange dress is there. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh no. Are we dying to that?
Oh no!
No.
Oh no! That, alas, is how Tabsies season ends. Someone finally saw Tabsies hiding behind the pillar.
Okay, so just
That's
to
some
make sure
justice.
everybody's on the same page here. Final score is Kotte 8, Tabsies 5, Toby 1. Good job, Toby. You found the spy. Okay, let's go through the stakes here while I try and process getting shot for pillar strats. So congratulations to Kotte. He's now jumped all the way up to silver from iron, which is very impressive. Tabsies, valiant effort here and not punished it for it too much. Still gets to go to what is a deadly bronze. There's a lot of players from bronze who are not in this tournament who you don't want to be facing. Both players playing really well this season, having really fun to watch, and really strong tournament placements. And we'll get 2 more of those sort of sets moving forward. But yeah, die into pillar strats, live by the sword, die by the sword, Tabsies.
Bronze, the home of Rio. Silver, the home of Pavke, are 2 placers into gold and winner and runner-up of the Tournament of Position.
Yeah, we're gonna see someone else get into bronze here. Actually, no, it won't be this set. It will be the next, our live set. We'll have someone else who can join Tabsies. It would be interesting if it ends up being Jake, because then it's both the challenger guys jumping together. Let's not jump too far ahead though. It's gonna be Dells versus Pox, and